My guy, Gene Deal, happy to have you back, my man. Week 2, Diddy trial. I heard you was up there, yo.
Yeah, I went to the court. I had to see for myself, brother. It's an old cliche, a quote that used to say, you always got to treat people good because the same people you see going up the ladder will be the same people you'll see when you're coming down the ladder. And for me, being as petty I could be sometimes, I wanted to just see his face. I wanted to see him in that circumstance, in that situation. I've seen it before with the Sean and the Wolf trial with them when Sean got locked up. But I knew he wasn't going to jail then because they had set it up, for Sean to take the fall. You know what I mean? So, but this particular thing is all him. Everything that he uh, always done to people, got away with it. It just came back and it's hitting them in a crazy way to see him right there. The government is about to take everything. People don't understand the RICO and they don't understand the racketeering and the criminal enterprise, all that set up to take everything that he's gained, everything that he owns. So what they're doing is now they're putting it together, the racketeering part of it, because now they're using Comb Global and Bad Boy Entertainment. They saying that's one and the same. You know what I'm saying? And when they do that, bruh, and they find that that's racketeering, that he used people in his company, to do all these sexual acts, deeds and stuff like that, paying the prostitutes and everything like that. And they prove that, which they doing a hell of a job, a great job in proving that. I had to see, bro. I didn't want nobody to tell me. I didn't want to get it from no YouTuber. I didn't want to get it from no news. I wanted to be right there to hear the testimony of some of those people that was there.
So how was it? Take me through it.
Well, the prosec- the prosecution did a great job. It was certain people like you see, I think her name Dawn. You know what I'm saying? She was in Danity Kane. Uh, she didn't do so well, but she didn't do bad because what happened is that's this, and it's what people don't understand. She set an atmosphere of fear. And then people were saying this, bro. Oh, she went back once. She went back twice. She went back 8 times. She went back 20 some times to him. How could she be scared of him? No disrespect to Dawn for making this analogy. You got people that kick their dogs. You got people that beat their dogs. What do their dog do the next day? Come back and lick their hand. Because that person feeds them. That person is what gives them a house over their head, a roof over their head. That person is the one who put water in their bowl, food in their bowl. See, what people don't understand about Puff is this, is that he held the entertainment grip, especially for the people who was his former artists, in a chokehold. If you didn't do what he say do, if he didn't like you, you would never ever work for Bad Boy or anybody in the entertainment business again. He did it to Kirk Burrows. You understand? He did it to Wendy Williams. He did it to a lot of people, bruh. So now her going back is just wanted to get food on her table, keep a roof over her head. Because nobody was probably telling her, yo, I can't work with you. I can't deal with you unless Puff say so. I'm not gonna work with you. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do anything because they didn't want to make him mad because he had enough power in the business to stop her. So then she was saying something about, well, she seen this dude once stop selling drugs. Oh, did you see him get cash? Who gave him the cash and stuff like that? The good thing that she said it, and then they said, oh, well, you really didn't see him and stuff like that, but she knew of it. They had people come back and say this guy One Stop name, in their testimony. And they did a great job in their testimony. Like one of his PA's, personal assistants, did a great job in his testimony. And he said, yeah, I used to pay One Stop for the drugs. Then we used to get the drugs to D-Rock. He used to have a case with all the drugs in it and stuff like that. Hold a bag with all the drugs and everything and the money in and stuff like that. So now she mentioned that. So now the jury knows she's telling the truth about One Stop giving people drugs. See, the people look at her, oh, her testimony was terrible. Her testimony, she didn't remember this, she didn't remember that. You ain't got to remember everything, but some of us have a great memory and we do. And I applaud her for even trying. You know what I'm saying? When in fact, you know what I'm saying, she's a person that is a victim. She's a victim, bro. These people who was around him and had to work with him came out, and that's what you find in the trial, that they were being victimized. And people around them that was there saw it, didn't say nothing, and didn't do nothing.
If I'm not mistaken, Dunn, she testified that Diddy, he threw a skillet of eggs at Cassie, right?
Well, I don't know that was Dawn. What happened was one of the PAs, his personal assistants, I think that was George something. I don't know his last name. I think that was George. He said he came in and he had a bowl of apples, and it was Gina. This nigga was throwing a bowl, not to laugh, man, that he was just throwing them apples as hard as he can, hitting Gina with some apples, dog. That's like throwing a brick at somebody almost. And he was doing crazy shit like that, man. He threw on the plane, what you was trying to say, he threw one of those hard, like it could have been a bourbon glass. Those hard glasses that you have that you pour alcohol in? And speaking of alcohol, and we said bourbon, that's my alcohol right there. Want it. Get it in the stores. I got to promote it on your show, Mighty. It's wanted. Get it in the stores, y'all. It's coming real soon. We repackaging the bottle. We repackaging everything. And it's going, bourbons and cigars, man. I know you hate that. You're going to cut that, huh, Mighty? But anyway, man, to get back to the story. Oh, he was on a plane and he throwing glasses at Cassie. And then cursed her the F out and told her to go in the back of the plane and sit. And nobody said nothing. Yo, a lot of stuff is coming out in this trial, man. And it's no coming back from this. And I had to hear it and I had to see it. And I'm glad I heard it. No matter what the outcome is, and I swear for living Jesus, and I know this to be true, if he have any sense, he'll go to the prosecution with his defense team, and he'll tell them, yo, can I still get that 5 years? Can I still get that 5 years? But now he's at the point where is that if they prove this racketeering, they could take all his assets. And I think that's what they're shooting for now. Because everything else basically is going to be proven or has been proven.
How did Diddy look appearance-wise?
Thinner. He tried to appear not worried, but I know he's worried. She tried to appear not worried, but he's worried, bro. You understand? You only succeed basically when you first come in If you don't see him, you see him leaving when he's looking back or whatever like that, but you only see the back of his head. He didn't really turn that much or look that much, back to the crowd or anything like that. So you couldn't tell, you could tell that it was him, and it was him because it's his trial, but I never seen that much gray in his hair before in my life. You wouldn't even know. You think he was Papa Diddy. Papa Diddy Pop. Yo, he had so much gray in his hair, bro. So I don't understand why he just don't cut it down or cut it bald so you really couldn't tell like that. But I guess that's what he chose to do.
Kid Cudi, how you feel about him testifying against Diddy?
Well, he testified, and I think he was more. He was very entertaining. He had everybody laughing and shit like that. You know what I mean? But he testified to somebody coming in his house because he would leave his door open, and it was around Christmas time, and they took all the gifts out the wrappers. He didn't say they took the gifts. You know what I'm saying? I can't recall he said they took the gifts. They just took them off the wrappers. I guess they was looking for something. I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? They locked his dog in another room. You understand? They didn't really ramshack anything like that. Ain't tell him nothing like that. And then he testified to somebody allegedly Diddy bombing his car, but he didn't say Diddy until the end. He said that him and Diddy was having a lot of beefs and problems because he had found out that he was talking with Cassie, and him and Cassie was dealing with each other. So he was acting like that he wanted to fight Diddy. He was going to meet Diddy so they could have a one-on-one. He was going to fight Diddy. And he said Diddy was standing up there in the middle. He was at this big window, and he was standing in the middle like he was some kind of superhero, some kind of Avenger or something like that, with his hand behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was really entertaining. And then the prosecution went on and had him describe the stuff that Cassie was going through. And did he ever see Cassie with bruises and scars on her and stuff like that? He testified yes. He testified that she told him it came from Diddy. He testified that when him and Cassie stopped dealing with each other and stuff like that, his car ended up blowing up. But Diddy didn't know they had stopped dealing with each other. And so then the prosecution asked him, like, yo, did you believe him when he told you that he didn't blow up your car? He said, nah, I knew he was lying. You understand? But I thought it was funny where he said he was going to fight Diddy. I don't think he would have had a chance with Diddy. My own personal opinion. But who knows? After all the drugs and alcohol, Diddy probably wasn't the same dude he was in the 90s and early 2000s. And I know people gonna say, yo, Diddy only beat women and shit like that. I seen him took some niggas down. I seen him took some big guys down, guys a little bit bigger than him. You understand? He knows who to mess with, I guess. But I seen some dudes who thought they had him and grabbed him, and he ended up slamming them. You know what I mean? So, it is what it. I know people gonna say, be trolling like, yo, this, that, and the third. But I don't think the average dude gonna run up on him and think that he ain't gonna defend himself, and because he can and he will. The one I knew. There's so many different. It's the Puff Daddy, the Diddy, the Love, the Brother Love. There's so many different people inside this month. You never know. So I know one thing that I don't believe if I had to put my house up, my money up, you know what I'm saying? And Puff heyday, I would go with Puff. I would go with him. Against a dude that's gonna wear a dress.
Right. So you was up there when Kid Cudi testified. You ain't tell me that, yo.
No, bro, I came into court, but I had to go to the it was late, so I had to go to they had the overflow court. You know what I'm saying? When you don't come early, you have to go to the overflow court. So most of my time was in the overflow court. And that's where I seen the Kid Cudi, the last of all the what you call it? The Kid Cudi was 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 off, and then all the other people, the Psych, the hold up, the makeup artist, and the personal assistant, the makeup artist, the Psych, and computer genius. I mean the computer investigator for the feds, and I seen the rest of those.
From the testimony that Kid Cudi gave, do you think it was a bad look for Diddy? You think it's going to have an effect on Diddy winning the case?
None of it's a good look for him, but it would affect him in a matter whereas that people are building an atmosphere. Whereas that if he didn't do it, his enterprise, people from his enterprise did. People from where he worked, that's what the racketeering come in at. He had people that worked for him to do his dirty deeds. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where that come in at. So his testimony of somebody doing this stuff because he was dealing with Cassie helps the racketeering case for the government. Because he had people that work for him that he's paying to do things like that for him. So the jury was looking that Kid Cudi did a great job. You could tell the jury was entertained by Kid Cudi, bro. Not only were they entertained, because some of them, they try to keep a straight face if they laughed in those 9 yards. But what happens is this. They believed him. They believed him. And they was waiting for the defense to jump on top of Kid Cudi like they jumped on all the rest of the people as far as Dawn and the people that testified, against Diddy, that was going at Diddy. And what happened was when the lawyer got ready to do the redirect to go at Kid Cudi, Puff told him no. And the jury saw that, bro. The jury saw that. Puff's like, nah, don't ask him no more questions. Now he paying all these lawyers all this money to defend him. And that's what that narcissism come in at. Like he know everything. I don't know what he thought they would have pulled out of him or said or stopped or he was killing him or whatever it was Kid Cudi was doing up there. He didn't want to hear or see no more of it. Well, he told his own lawyers, don't redirect, don't say nothing. So they ain't even question Kid Cudi. And that's crazy because what a lawyer wants to do, all lawyers wants to do, is get the last word. The last word. They want to go at them and get the last word to make sure that their client is all right. But when Puff did that, you should have seen the face on those jurors' face when he did that. I think that's going to be one of the things that bury him, to make them believe that he directed everybody to do the things that happened. I can't believe that he stopped his lawyers, bro. He stopped his lawyers for doing a redirect on Kid Cudi so they could try to, have the jury thinking a different way. But I guess because Kid Cudi was so entertaining that it made him feel like he wasn't the main focus in the room anymore. Something.